How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be continuing my Sharks of Summer series. Sharks of Summer is a series I do around here where once a week, at least once, during the summer, I take a look at a shark movie. And today, we're going to be looking at Shark Side of the Moon. This is from 2022, directed by Campbell and Tammy Klein. This movie stars Maxi Witrak, Marcel, Mikitas and Tania Fox. Now, this is an Asylum movie that was put out as a Tubi original. They've done this a few times, and the thing with the Asylum is they're best known for Sharknado. And I think probably audiences and the Asylum themselves have kind of been trying to chase this high in their other movies, and they've been hoping for the next Sharknado. But their movies are all too lazy and low budget to ever achieve that. But you see this movie, you see Shark Side of the Moon. It's a wacky and crazy and over-the-top concept. You think, maybe this one will finally be the next Sharknado. No, it is sadly underwhelming. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. And the thing is, though, I had said in previous reviews when I saw the Asylum movies be just, lazy and boring, I said, hey, you guys got all these CGI models, just crack them out, pay the animators, and have some fun with essentially what's a cartoon for adults. But no, what do I know, apparently it didn't work. The thing is, though, it is a little bit more effort. They actually made spaceship sets, and they actually did a lot more with CGI characters, and in general, the concept was a little more over the top, but you can't just have the concept be over the top. You have to have the execution be there as well. You need funny characters, you need fun set pieces, you need constant jokes, and you really didn't have any of that. There's something so stiff and soulless about modern Asylum movies that even when you do Shark Side of the Moon, you don't have any life or levity in it. And this is one that I kept wanting to like more than I did, but I kept finding it boring. They would constantly do that Asylum thing where they have the BS pseudoscience, be careful, don't use your radios because the sharks can track radio waves back to your ship. Again, a bunch of talking with characters that aren't given any depth or anything to work with. It's got a few over-the-top moments towards the end. Like, a few moments towards the end actually do really swing for it, but you really needed to keep that energy up for the whole movie, and they really don't. And it just came off like I knew the CGI was going to be bad, but it came off really bad, and it never crossed that line between bad and fun bad. Like, you see them on the moon, and they're clearly cut out from a green screen, and then you see the sharks, and the sharks are talking, and boy is that effect awkward, let me tell you what. But it also has that cheap feel of, how can we not make the sharks and the humans interact because that's hard? What if the character's fighting, poking a spear at the camera, and then we cut to the reverse shot of just the shark? That way the people don't have to interact with a CGI model. Cheap is cheap. I'd rather see you fail and swing for it than not really try. And that's the thing with this whole movie, is it's one that just never quite gets it. And it's sad because, again, that high of Sharknado, that's what we want, and I was hoping we might get even a small piece of it. But as it stands, I think the only people that will enjoy this are the people that just want to, turn on a lazy Sunday afternoon movie and not think, space out on the couch and become comfortably numb, I wish it was funny, but as it stands, it's just not much of anything. But let's take a look at the plot. I want to do a bit of breakdown and analysis, no major spoilers, but I want to dive in a little bit and analyze a few things, but I'll be avoiding the end bits. We open up with the origin of the sharks. Basically, it's the Cold War. Russia was trying to make shark people as a form of super soldier, and wouldn't you know it, they break out and run amok, and this one Russian scientist will get on a spaceship and lure them all in it. Well, okay, technically there's two, but there is a super stupid case of needless self-sacrifice in here, so whatever. He lures them on a rocket and blasts them into space, and that's how the sharks got on the moon. Cool, I didn't think that they just kept rockets ready to go at all times and a single person could pilot them on an unexpected way. Just a super impromptu rocket launch, whatever. That's not the worst thing in this movie. We then cut to the future, and it's modern day. America's about to shoot off a rocket. Tons of stock footage people are there to celebrate, and wouldn't you know it, one of them gets sick, so they rush in the backup guy. And the backup guy's on a motorcycle, and they're like, oh no, not this guy. And they set him up to be like the bad boy astronaut. And that is super disappointing because after a few quick jokes, he just becomes the male astronaut with the most screen time. It is so sad how the Asylum cannot hold a sense of character, because you think fun bad boy astronaut character, but no, he becomes the same as any other person on this crew. Can we not have characters? How bad is your writing? Whatever. They go to the moon and immediately crash into the dark side. Apparently the deal is the sharks did something to sabotage them, but without knowing that and without any clear visual language like a big laser or something, it feels like the writers just made it crash to start the plot. And they're there, the ship isn't working, but it's sealed up, they have enough supplies because they were gonna try to do like a colony or something, and they can, they can still breathe, they got time. The only thing is they can't get back home or even contact anybody. Well, there's some random MacGuffin, I think it's like an old rover or something, and a few of the crew, the main characters, get out to try to get some parts from it, and that's when the sharks first attack, and there are shark people on the moon, which, man, it should be a lot funner than what we got. But the Russian guy will save them, and he has a half-shark daughter. Now, I should specify, this situation is not what it looks like. Basically, all the shark hybrids are half-person, half-shark, and this girl was kicked out because she just happened to look way more on the human side than the shark side, and she got adopted by the only human on the moon. That's what's supposed to happen. But you tell me that there's one human on the moon and he has a half-shark daughter? It really reads like he had relations with one of the shark people, and that's not what's supposed to have happened. Whatever. Anyway, though, they want to get back to their ship to warn them. Also, one of the guys got taken by the shark people, and they're like, we have to help our friends. And the Russians will say, you don't know anything about the moon. You have to do stupid stuff and fill up the runtime. And we get, again, a bunch of BS pseudoscience where it's like, the sharks just know where you are because of your electromagnets or something. You know how sharks know where every human in the world is? But anyway, they make them put on like special Russian suits, and the costuming design is horrible in this movie, where they all wear these goofy goggles and like chainmail hats, and they all have the air tube in their nose because apparently we're also trying to be Dune or something. And then they have to slowly go about trying to get off the moon, and eventually we will get a few goofy moments, but it really takes a while to get there. There is not enough plot to fill the runtime, and they're constantly just slowly going about things. This movie takes a while to start, and the thing is, you really needed to be constantly bonkers all the time. You know, you're doing a movie called Shark Side of the Moon. People want to see goofiness. You need to have clear, defined characters. You need to constantly be telling good jokes. You need to come up with wacky stuff the CGI characters can do, and I need gags to keep me entertained. But when it's just people talking and saying, oh, we can't use the radios because of, you know, shark science, it's not entertaining. And that's the thing. And I think this is really the problem with where the Asylum is now. I mean, the Asylum movies have gotten progressively narrower and lazier, but with where the Asylum is now, I don't think they've quite made the jump to understanding streaming, and this is a Tubi original. Like, when they were putting stuff out on DVD, once you sold the DVD, it didn't really matter what was inside of it. But now, in the age of streaming, I can turn the movie off if I'm bored, and you're not gonna get me to the second ad break, and you're not gonna make as much money. You really gotta do a much better job of actually entertaining the audience these days, and I don't know if they get that. It's a movie with a little bit of effort, a little bit more than the Asylum normally does, but not enough to save it, and it's one that I wish was better, and sadly isn't. But at the end of the day, whatever. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Asylum Shark Movies playlist, and believe it or not, I've almost covered all of them. Gee. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.